Personal Injury Court.
Good day, everyone. This is the matter of Donaldson versus Jones. Mr. and Mrs. Donaldson, it's my understanding from the documents that you all filed with this court that you are suing Mr. Jones for very intimate injuries that you received at his batting cage, and you're asking this court to award you $30,000 for past medicals, $130,000 for future medicals, $690,000 for pain and suffering, and $150,000 for loss of consortium, for a total award of $1 million. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Jones, you're saying you provide a batting cage. This is his fault.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, well, I understand where you stand. Now let's get into the legal sauce. Y'all went to the batting cage as batting part of your life?
We have two little boys who just love baseball as much as we do.
How old are your boys?
11. JJ's 11. Gregory is 6.
Oh, it takes me back. I got 3. They're a bit older than yours.
Yeah,
They're grown men
yeah.
with hair on their face now. Now, you took your family to the batting cage this day, right?
JJ, yes, he can hit a fastball, 60-mile-an-hour fastball. He can crank it down.
You ever get out there and swing yourself? Show them how mama can do it?
I played softball when I was in college, so that's kind of what bonded us together. But my 11-year-old, he's just got such a passion for it.
It's a family thing. We like to bond as a family.
You look like you're an athlete. Did you play some baseball?
I did actually, sir. That's actually one of my fondest childhood memories is playing baseball with my father and grandfather, which led me to opening Pete's Perfect Game.
Mr. Jones, tell me about your batting cage. How long you been doing this?
We've been open for a little over 3.5 years now.
Okay.
We have an impeccable safety record.
Excuse me?
What did you intend for families to have when they come to your batting cage?
Ultimate fun. It's safe fun.
There is no safety
Okay, and so,
if my husband
so if
is
it works
suffering.
out, we'll talk about that. We got a little time. We're going to talk about that. Take me to the day that this happened. What happened?
That was a great day. I mean, we did a few rounds. I even got in there to try to hit a few. He definitely showed me up.
Then what happened?
I was just watching him. I got a phone call, and it was an urgent call. I needed to take the call, so I decided to walk.
Must be pretty important to turn away from your boy.
Yeah, we've been there a little bit. It's a coworker, so I definitely needed to take the phone call. So there was an alleyway next to the batting cages. There was nobody else in the facility.
A gated alleyway.
Now, this alleyway, what's this alleyway for? What's
Primarily
it look like?
for maintenance, sir.
Okay.
For maintenance, employees will make it through to maintain the
There was
nets.
no signs. It was an open alleyway, open gate, no signs posted.
Okay.
To me, I assumed it was another observation area to watch.
So then what do? You get to the alleyway, then what happens?
I'm watching. I'm still analyzing my son's swing. I'm still coaching.
You're keeping an eye on your son.
I'm still zoned in on him.
Okay.
Correct, yeah. And then before I know it, the ball comes through the net, hits me right in my family jewels.
So, Mr. Donaldson, describe what happened and how your injury happened.
So my left testicle ruptured.
Okay.
It basically feels like the pain is just coming from my belly button down, and it is a constant pain.
Okay, Mr. Jones, were you there?
Yes, sir.
Did you see this?
I was on site. I did not see the incident take place, but I was on site. We have an impeccable safety record. We
All right.
had 0
So this must have
incidents.
shocked you too.
Oh, it
One
did.
incident.
Oh, it did.
So then what did you do?
Yes, I got there. The paramedic beat me there first. We have one on staff. She generally tends to scrapes by passing out
You have a
Band-Aids.
paramedic on staff?
Yes, sir.
To have a paramedic on staff at a batting cage is a big deal. Wouldn't y'all agree with that?
So is he
I've never been the one with the head
To
medical
me, he's
staff.
anticipating something happening.
bad happening.
Safety first.
Wait. You think a paramedic being there is
It's anticipation for something
But that's
bad
a good
happening.
thing, though, right, Miss Donaldson?
Sometimes overly cautious is not a good thing. If you have a reason to be that cautious,
See, but
there's
here's
something wrong.
the thing. Here, I need to give you a short legal lesson. When there is a business owner who's taking precautions in case something bad happens, that's kudos. That's a good thing. Mr. Jones, the paramedic
Yes, sir.
comes down. Then what happens?
She called 911. She wanted to make sure that he was being taken care of.
Were you concerned?
I was very concerned.
He was in a lot of pain, huh?
He was bleeding.
Okay.
He was bleeding in the facility. It was pretty
your
bad.
facility is faulty.
Ma'am, it would make no sense for me to argue with this woman.
Well,
She continues
that's not
to
why we're here.
yell
You're
at
going
me.
to talk to me. Today is about getting me to understand this. Now, Mr. Donaldson, you submitted a diagram,
Yeah, we have a
to this
diagram.
court. Could you come over to the plasma
Yes,
and
Your
show
Honor.
me exactly how this happened? Take your time. Okay, now, when you got there and you're watching your son, where are you?
So we started here in batting cage 4. I'm in this observation area here.
Okay.
I got the phone call. As you can see, there's a an alleyway right here next to the batting cages. There was nobody in any of these batting cages.
Okay, hold on for a minute, Mr. Donaldson. Mr. Jones, that area there where the X is,
Yes,
and
sir.
that's the alleyway, right?
Yes, sir.
What's the purpose for that?
For maintenance.
Okay,
Literally,
so no one but maintenance people should go in there.
only employees.
Is
There's
that-
Nothing
gates, sir.
posted.
Now, Mr. Donaldson, you see that swing? Is that a gate or a door? What is that?
It was an open gate, and that's exactly how it was.
So the
And
gate was open.
wide open, even more open than it shows in this diagram. It was wide open.
Okay, so you're in the observation area. Take me through all the way until your son's ball hits you below the belt.
I walked down this way. I came down here, and I was observing from the angle, from a good angle, just to see him swing. That way,
And you're on the phone?
Yeah, I didn't want to distract
Distracted.
him. Yeah, I didn't want to distract him from
While
hitting the
you were
ball.
distracted.
And then before I know it, the ball comes out of nowhere and just hits me right in my family jewels.
Your Honor, had he been paying attention to begin with and not wandering off into areas while being on the cell phone, none of this would
What
have happened.
difference does it make? Your facility should be safe from any angle.
Your child hit the ball that hit your husband.
He's 11 years old. He can't hit a ball.
Well,
hard
Mr.
He
enough to
Jones.
go
should be
through a
able to
net.
break
Mr.
your
Jones.
safety net.
Order in this courtroom. Y'all direct your comments to me. I need to figure this out. Mr. Donaldson, thank you. You may go back to your podium. Take your time. Thank you for going over there for me. So, Mr. Jones, how does this kind of thing happen? If it's not supposed to happen, how's it happen?
Your Honor, it just doesn't happen. In over 3 years that we've been in business, we have had an impeccable safety record. My general manager here, Mr. Stewart, is just the best in the business at maintaining nets and baseball facilities.
Clearly
we
not.
keep a perfect service log.
You have something you brought?
Yes, sir.
Sheriff, would you get that for me?
Thank you, thank you.
Now, this document is your safety log.
Yes, sir.
It says family maintenance checklist.
Yes, sir.
And then batting cages. Netting is free of holes and tears. That's a safety issue, right?
Yes, sir.
And it has an X under no. What's that mean?
The X under no meaning that our facilities manager noticed that there was a tear in the net that Friday.
Okay,
Day
so-
before the incident.
So then it goes to made simple fix to cage number 4. And so you didn't fix this net, right?
No, sir.
But Mr. Donaldson, when you went over there, you're on the phone and you're looking at your son. Did you see anything wrong with the net?
You could tell there was duct tape in certain areas of the netting. You could
And,
tell.
and
there
were
was-
y'all using tape for the nets?
Yes, sir. It's an industry standard.
So did you tape the net or one of your employees did?
No, sir. Our facilities manager.
Mr. Stewart, stand on up. Let me hear from you. For the record, what is your full name?
Harvey Stewart, Your Honor.
Okay, and what do you do at Mr. Jones's batting cage?
I'm the general manager, and I inspect everything that we have in the facility.
Impeccably.
So how did you repair this net?
Well, we brought a piece, and I can show you that today, Your Honor.
Okay, that would be good.
This is like a piece of the net that has a hole in it.
Show me what you did for the hole that's at issue here.
They take this industrial strength tape, and then it holds. This is a ball will not go through that.
Now, I see some other pieces of that fluorescent tape. Are those places that it was repaired?
Yes, sir.
Now that tape's gonna stop a ball coming 70 miles an hour?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. The structure is still sound.
But look at how hard he's hitting the ball. It's coming at him fast. Watch this swing.
We've never had this issue.
This was
Your
a
Honor.
freaky accident. We've never had an incident like this
And
before.
again,
ever.
had
But
Mr.
y'all putting a
Donaldson-
lot of tape on that net though, right?
Yes, sir.
They are.
Is that normal
Kids
course?
are great at
This
it.
is. The tape did not fail.
Well, how'd the ball get through?
Ball didn't get on the other side of the net by magic.
If he had not gone into the alleyway, we would not be here today.
He was
Right?
in a place he shouldn't have been. He wasn't in the
It's
tape.
never
Mr. Donaldson,
It
There's a
It
clearly
doesn't
marked
matter.
observation area.
Order in this court. If y'all talk all at the same time, I can't hear you. I'm not that good. If you're going to rely on signs and you say this is the proper area, wouldn't you also say this is not the proper area?
Well, most people don't wander into gated areas.
They
And
still-
Well, he
facilities
said the
don't-
gate was open. Is
Still
that
not
gate
answering the question.
Mr. Donaldson, the gate was open, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that gate supposed to be open, Mr.
No,
Jones?
sir.
I need to understand the full extent of your injury, so this court has consulted a urologist, Dr. Michael Witt. So, Sheriff, will you get Dr. Witt?
Yes, Your Honor.
Come on in, Doctor. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
For the record, Doctor, state your name.
Michael Witt.
And can you explain what actually happens when a testicle is ruptured?
If you have enough blunt force to the testicle, there'll be a lot of pain. This sort of thick outer layer here can actually rupture and fracture. But you can also get parts of the testicle that sometimes can sort of poke out from there.
Are you ever put in a position where you've got to decide whether to get rid of the testicle?
There's kind of two times when you might have to remove this. One is if you get in there and the testicle is so shattered that you just can't put it back together. Or if there's been damage to the blood flow here so that none of the tissue is alive.
And Doc, you said pain. Is it pain on walking? Is it pain on coughing? When is that pain present?
Well, immediately during the injury, constantly. And it's a pretty deep pain. Not only will you experience it locally, but it'll sort of extend up into the abdomen and sometimes sort of to the other side.
In this case, Mr. Donaldson actually ruptured his testicle. What's that look like for him from this point on?
Well, if the testicle was removed, all right, typically that won't have any negative impact, on his ability to father children in the future.
Okay.
Or if there's sort of an alteration in body image, then that can cause them to be somewhat hesitant, to engage sexually or be intimate.
Dr. Witt, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. You are relieved. So, Ms. Donaldson, let me understand this. You are asking this court to award you $150,000 for loss of consortium. Under the law, consortium is how this injury affects the family, how it affects your intimate relationship. Mrs. Donaldson, how has this affected your relationship with your husband?
We'd always planned on having at least 3 kids, and for the last 6 months or so, we've been trying, and it's not happening. He won't let me near him. Our intimacy is all but gone. We're a very, very close couple, and it's not all about the money, but it's about how our life has been affected and how it will remain affected.
This has been pretty heavy for you, Ms. Donaldson?
It's been hard. Yeah, it has been hard.
It could be her mouth.
Yeah.
Well, first of
Excuse
all,
me.
that's totally inappropriate.
Thank you.
This man had one of his testicles destroyed at your place, and you want to make jokes. We're not having it today.
That's his character.
We are not having
That's
it
his
today.
character.
I apologize.
If you expect me to have a clean view of what's responsible here, you got to calm down. The sarcasm does not have...
I apologize to the court, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Donaldson, how do you describe how this affected your relationship with your wife?
Yeah,
as best you can.
I've sought counseling myself. I've been depressed. I don't do the things I used to do with my boys anymore. We used to go in the backyard and play all the time. I can't run. I can't move around. I can't pitch to them anymore.
Because it hurts or you're worried?
It hurts. It's a constant dull pain that just never goes away. I can't sleep at night. I have to sleep in one position always, sitting, walking, driving a car, anything that involves movement.
Everything.
I can't do it. So.
And someone was hurt. You don't have any doubt that he suffered a real injury?
Yeah, not at all. As a man, I certainly feel his pain.
But you say y'all would have never met today if he hadn't been in that area.
Correct. Never. Never would have been here today had he not wandered into an area
Or had
that
he
was
posted
clearly...
an employees only sign, I would not have wandered in there.
Okay, folks, I think I've heard enough. I'm ready to render my decision. In every personal injury case, the plaintiff, you all, Mr. and Mrs. Donaldson, you have to prove that Mr. Jones committed wrong and that his wrong caused your injury. It is undisputed that you have a very serious personal injury. It doesn't get any more personal than this, okay? And you are asking this court to award you $1 million. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. and Mrs. Donaldson, as the law requires you, you all have proven a wrong. That is, Mr. Jones's net did not do what it was supposed to do, and that was to protect you from this ball coming through. You've proven that that ball coming through and hitting you caused severe injury. There's no doubt that it was the result of this and that your family has suffered. I understand why you filed this lawsuit. And Mr. Jones, you say that this net was working properly and that if he had been in the right spot, this would have never happened, and thus this is not your fault and he should be awarded nothing against you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, here, the law requires me to look at the whole picture. This is not supposed to happen. Safety nets are for safety, and they are not supposed to fail. I think you all have proven wrong. I think you have proven that Mr. Jones is wrong, and that his wrong in not properly repairing this net caused your very severe injuries. I am going to award you $30,000 for past medicals, $130,000 for future medicals, $690,000 for your terrible pain and suffering, and $150,000 for loss of consortium, the injury to this family, for a total of $1 million. I find in your favor, Mr. and Mrs. Donaldson, and against you, Mr. Jones. That is my final verdict, and this matter is adjourned. Our attorneys across America just viewed this case for the first time. Let's hear what Terry Krupin has to say.
Injury cases affect the whole family. Here, the doctor's testimony dealt with physical injury plus the emotional and psychological damage done to the Donaldsons' marriage. Accordingly, Judge Gino also awarded money to the wife, called loss of consortium, to compensate for the harm done to their relationship.
Who's gonna run me out of this